the smell of rain. For some reason, I can't get enough of it. There's just something so alluring about that intoxicating aroma. As a detective, I should always have a reason for something. But for that mystery, I feel more clueless than a noseless hound. It's been teasing my mind for the past couple of hours as the open window keeps pumping in that soothing smell. I should probably keep my focus on the figure that's been standing on the other side of the door to my office for the past 5 minutes. The soft knock gives me an idea of what I'm working with. Come in. As the figure slowly but surely entered my small apartment office, I can tell that the mid-20s woman had something biting the back of her mind. I gestured toward the open chair across from my desk. She quietly sat, avoiding eye contact. Kayama tells me that my masked appearance can be off-putting. How can I be of help, Mrs.
Mori.
Still avoiding the eye line of my mask, I lean forward to cut to the chase. You're in a safe space, Ms. Mori. You can trust me. Now, how can I be of help? Taking her time and taking charge of her breathing, she finally turned towards me.
This is about my fiancé, Yuto. He's been acting weird, and I recently found out he's been meeting with this woman.
Now that sure was a curveball. Most women who had any doubts about the fidelity of their man tended to have a temper about it. Not that I'll know too much about that. Well, listen, Ms. Mori. That seems to appear to be outside my knowledge of expertise.
It's not like that, Mr. Spider-Man. I came to you because I believe she's involved in criminal behavior. My gut tells me that my fiancé is in trouble and the police won't believe me without any solid evidence. He's scared, but he won't tell me anything.
And the plot thickens. When's the next time he's meeting her?
Tonight, by the old Chobohate docks.
Why is it always by the damn docks? I'll take a look around the place and get back to you. Keep your phone on hand just in case. She gives me a small but grateful smile as she stands and bows. We exchange contact numbers before she leaves me be in my office. Filing cabinets and a bookcase fill the left side of the room. On the other is my desk with a coffee maker, a gift from a close friend filled halfway with yesterday's cup of joe. Rising to my feet and stretching my back, I let out a sigh. Just knowing that crime is a never-ending battle can really kill the mood. But it's the job I signed up for. A childhood dream come true. But not in the way I imagined. As I grab my coat and hat from the coat rack, I take one last look at the hanging frame of Uncle Benjamin, remembering the promise I made in his last moments. Once dressed, I step out the window and swing towards my destination, the smell of rain filling my senses. Rainfall hits my black leather coat and hat, running down my aviator goggles. Hiding in the shadows of rooftops has become my normal occurrence. Don't know if I should be worried about that. But in my line of work, it's all but necessary. Kayama says I should try to blend in with the crowd, but with my costume, I stick out like a sore thumb. Walking around the corner across the street from me is Yuto, Ms. Mori's fiancé. His head is lowered, constantly watching over his shoulder, his fast breathing, and his elbows slightly twitching. He's nervous. Walking over to him with an umbrella is the woman Ms. Mori mentioned, and judging from the multiple facial piercings, black clothing, and bright orange hair, she doesn't look like a girlfriend he'll be into. Maybe Ms. Mori recognizes her. I need a better angle for a photo. Even through my thick leather gloves, my wall-crawling skills are unaffected. I quietly hop onto the top of a lamppost and snap the photo, jumping across and sticking to the building closest to them. Since I'm closer, maybe I can eavesdrop on their conversation.
You better not be holding anything back.
Why would I? If that picture gets out, my life is over.
Give me the plans and it won't.
He hands her a folder and she quickly looks through the pages.
Very nice. Looks good. And remember, you tell anyone about this and I leak the photo.
She hails a cab and leaves Yuto in the cold rain. Looks like Ms. Mori's hunch was right. This is much bigger than a secret affair. Better follow the blackmailer and see where this mystery leads. If I follow them while swinging, they'll spot me. Looks like I'll get my daily exercise from jumping across wet rooftops. Better call Ms. Mori and update her. After a couple of rings and hopped rooftops, her nervous voice answers the phone.
Hello?
Ms. Mori, I'm sending you a photo of the woman your fiancé met. Does she look familiar?
No, she doesn't. What were they talking about?
Looks like she's blackmailing him. She mentioned something about plans.
Yuto works security at a casino in Nagasaki.
Now that's my connection. My best bet is she's planning a heist, but I'll need more evidence before I could intervene.
Let me know if I can help.
I'm tailing her right now. I'll be in touch. Looks like this night just keeps getting more interesting. Better not make me late for my meeting. Learn not to make that mistake again. Eventually, the cab parked beside a parking garage where Yuto's blackmailer walked out and entered the elevator. The number above the door gave away which floor she was heading toward. Crawling up the wall and sneaking into the roofed parkade, I noticed a tattooed thug leaning on the hood of his car. Another victim? Or an accomplice? The elevator dinged and out walked Ms. Trouble. I need a photo. Trying my best to sneak between cars in wet leather is much harder than one might think.
Took you long enough. You get it?
Yeah. As soon as he saw the photo, he fell in line.
I can't move closer without getting in their line of sight and getting caught. Good thing these side mirrors were able to help get the photo of the punk.
Yuto always was a sucker. The boss will be happy. Don't want to keep him waiting. Tonight's gonna be our biggest score yet.
Grabbing the folder, he didn't even check the contents as he hopped into his ride and drove towards the exit. Just how many people are in on this? Hopping back over the cement railing, I waited for his sports car to appear and tail him while web-swinging through the pouring streets. Better call Yuto's fiancée. After a couple of seconds, she answered with a more affirmative tone. Ms. Mori, the blackmailer, met a man in a parking structure. Sounded like he knew Yuto. Sending the photo now.
That's Kaido, Yuto's best friend from college. He went to prison 3 years ago on a robbery charge.
Casino plans, a criminal record, a blackmailed security employee. The dots aren't that hard to connect. Looks like there are more people in on it. I'll get back to you once I know more. Better move fast. If they really are planning on doing the heist tonight, I need more concrete evidence to prove it and put a stop to those punks. After swinging for a couple of dozen of blocks, the car parked outside an abandoned office building. The only floor with the lights still on was the 5th floor. Amateurs. Once Kaido got inside, I stuck to the outside of the building, barely peeking over to see the inside of the room.
I got the plans, boss.
Good. Pick up the bags in the corner. We're running late.
Yamato ready with the car? Still sure we can trust him?
He's my brother's kid. We can trust him. He just finished picking up our safecracker. Let's roll.
They pick up the bags and head down the stairs, whiteboards filled with blueprints and city maps scattered across the tables. Do these idiots want to be caught? After snagging a couple of clear shots of the interior, it should be enough evidence to put them away. As I slide down the wall, they hop into the car as it speeds away. Not on my watch. Say your prayers, punks. Here comes the Spider-Man. Accelerating on the low point of the swing, I fly high as I gain on the 2 speeding cars. The constant rain doesn't faze me at this point. With one last swing, I land roughly on the roof of the car, scaring the shit out of the passengers. The ringing at the side of my head leads me to dodge a spray of bullets fired from the right back window. I shoot a web, clogging the nozzle, giving me a chance to grab the thug by the collar and forcibly pull them out of the car. Tossing them aside onto a web net, I focus back on the driver who pulled out their sidearm. They reach out their arm, but before he could pull the trigger, I grab onto their wrist, snapping it easily. Ripping off the roof of the car, I web up the inside of the driver's seat, hitting the brakes and stopping the car. With the car's sudden stop and momentum, I jump off and chase after the final vehicle full of idiots. At the start of each swing, there's a momentary weightlessness, an almost suspended sensation as I release my grip and let the arc carry me forward. The wind rushes past my face, tugging at my suit and mask, reminding me of the incredible speed I'm achieving. The rain is a constant reminder that I have to wash my suit afterward. Catching up with the car, I once again land roughly, but I cover the windshield with a web, blocking the driver's field of vision. I side flip through the air, landing on the hood of the car while shooting web lines out to the surrounding buildings. I push my legs down hard, making the bumper crash into the pavement, and the back tires lift into the air. My arms struggle to hold the webs, but the car makes it to a stop. Once the back tires touch the ground, I flip backwards and land on the ground. I web the windshield and rip it off. I let out a spray of webs, constricting all the passengers from moving. And with that, the heist has officially been canceled. Police cruisers surround the area and take the punks into custody. After handing over the evidence and filing a report, I step aside and make a call, to which she answers quickly. Ms. Mori, your fiancé's pals and their team just had their trip to Nagasaki canceled.
Thank you. I spoke to Yuto, and that blackmail shows him driving the night Kaido committed the robbery. But Yuto didn't know about it. He was just picking up his friend.
Well, I've got a contact on the force. He'll help Yuto, especially if he agrees to testify about the blackmail.
He will. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Spider-Man.
Just doing my job. You take care. After hanging up, I look at the hour and see that I'm running late. I bid my farewell to the officer and swing my way towards my meeting. Red neon lights glow brightly, and the rhythmic pattern of rain that has flooded my ears for the past hours almost fades into silence as I see her. Sitting in the booth by the glass in our favorite spot, my mind started to linger as I stood across the street from her. I sensed you before I saw you, the sugar flavor of meadow-wrapped nectar in the air, and my eyes searched for its source, your face the essence of what I'd been waiting for all those cold and lonely years. Until you stepped into my world like a galaxy bursting in front of an astronomer's telescope. Tell me, with all those speckles on your skin, did anyone tell you that you are a constellation, waiting to be loved and explored? Before I could dare begin to think of retreating into my old and lonely office, she turned and faced me. Even as I hide in the darkest of shadows, she spots me and smiles. Without a choice, I cross the street to join her. The ringing of the door was a welcoming sound. Drenched in water, I remove my coat and leave it on the coat rack, along with my hat. Leaving my mask on, I walk over and slide into the seat across from her. Her gentle smile sends small shivers down my spine, even if she'll never know. She's dressed in her civilian clothing, no mask, no hero suit. Just a purple wool long-sleeve sweater that hugs her nicely, blue jeans, sneakers, and her glasses that rest on her smooth skin. What an odd sight it must seem for all the surrounding customers. This cafe has made itself a sentimental location for us. This is where we first got coffee together after meeting. It's been a good while since then.
Long night?
She smiles at me behind her raised mug, those beautiful blue orbs of precious sapphires, radiating a gentle glow that reflects the depths of emotions hidden within. With each glance, they create an intimate connection, revealing the vulnerability and tenderness within. Another case closed. Took me longer than expected.
Well, don't worry. You made it just in time.
As she says that, the waiter walks by us and places a hot cup of coffee in front of me. Black coffee. Just the way I like it. Lifting the front of my mask to expose my mouth, I lift the mug to cool it down. As I do so, I see her face, a small pout on her lips. She knows that I know what she wants me to do. I groan as I put the mug back down and slowly remove the entirety of my mask. Grabbing my round spectacles from my pocket, I see the gentle and pleased smile on her lips. And what's got you smiling, doll?
I just like seeing that handsome face of yours. Handsome.
Well, don't get too used to it. She chuckles softly, that darn infectious smile never leaving her gentle lips. Her hand reaches across the table and takes my gloved hand in hers.
Don't worry, Spider. I plan on keeping you around for a long time.
So what's new on your end? Any villains causing trouble?
You know, the usual. But nothing I can't handle. Besides, I got my favorite web-slinger watching over me.
An uncontrollable smirk grows on me. I look away as I grip back. Turning back, our eyes lock, and at that moment, the world around us fades into the background. It's just the two of us, lost in a universe we've created together. As the rain continues to patter against the window pane, we remain in that booth, enveloped in each other's presence, because when you find someone who sees the constellations in your soul, the smell of rain becomes a symbol of endless possibilities, a reminder that affection can bloom even in the stormiest of nights.